The thing that makes New Haven, and quite unique and special to me is the possibilities.
This is a beautiful city. I mean, the potential is here.
I feel like I'm living in a real community in which people care about each other.
It is going to take all of us working together to make the changes that we envision.
I don't think we need to reinvent the wheel.
It's not about me anymore. I'm on the downside of my life. It's about my grandkids. It's about their kids.
Our communities are made up of all kinds of races, all walks of life, all nationalities. This was a port for people to come when they came from other countries. This was a port for business. This was a place where education and living was something that was expected and allowed and also supported. And that's why I think New Haven was the reason why we loved it here. And people understood that we all were different, but it was okay to be different. It was okay to have that, because that was the healthiness of it.
The streets then had families, had homes, kids played in the street. You knew everybody, everybody knew you. You knew every cop on a beat. They knew you, they knew your parents. You couldn't do anything without somebody making a phone call. As a kid, there were perhaps about 15 doctors from Broadway to the Hamden line. And for this community now, Dixville, New Hallville community now, there is 0.
Adults in our small little neighborhood knew all the children, and we knew all the adults. There were clear community expectations for our behavior. There was an extraordinary amount of support for our growth and development, and a clear expectation that we were going to do well in life. We always felt safe, and not just physically safe, but emotionally and socially safe.
When we think about health traditionally, it's this idea of the absence of disease, but that is clearly not enough. That it has to be much more a sense of complete physical, emotional, social, and spiritual well-being.
We have over 124,000 residents in the city of New Haven. That's 124,000 pieces of human capital that can actually change the face of health in New Haven.
The energy's got to come from the individual, but the community's got to supply and clear the road for them.
So a healthy community is one where children are an end unto themselves. They are central to the community's reason for being.
Once I saw somebody actually get shot right up the street from my house, across the street from the park, then it made me really realize that, wow, it's pretty dangerous here, that I need to be more careful and more cautious.
When you have fear that's pervasive, it stresses you. And we're talking about coronary artery disease, we're talking about a whole lot of other stressors that can damage people's health.
If it was up to me, if we can get the drugs off the street, number one, the guns off the street, I think that would make a big, big difference in New Haven.
The big problem everybody keeps talking about is getting the kids off the streets and this, that. So I'm thinking that everybody's going about that wrong. You're singling out the children. That's not where all the problem is.
We've got to get a handle on these chronic diseases that impact our urban areas to a greater extent than they do other areas.
I know children who come to school just to eat and eat anything.
People need to have access to a healthy diet regardless of their economic situation.
As it is now, there are too many little fast food stores in all the communities. The stores do not have a full supplement of food.
Individual behaviors is just one piece of it, but there are systems in place that are prohibiting or at least compromising somebody's ability to make the healthier choices. It could be from street design and not having safe streets to the fact that, the transportation system doesn't get you to where you need to be. And so you're spending 3 hours on the bus to get to your doctor's appointment, and you miss your doctor's appointment and you have to reschedule. Those are real issues that people have to deal with.
The more school gardens we have, the more community gardens we have, getting kids to grow their food, getting people to grow food in their backyards, on their stoop, on their stairs. You grow a little tomato plant, you get hundreds of cherry tomatoes for a summer. That really changes what a kid eats.
We can start eating more vegetables in New Haven. Don't put a lot of sugar on my food because then it'll give you diabetes.
More bike riding, more parks, more yoga classes.
More pride in New Haven, more pride in volunteer work.
Like open minds, people who actually care about what you do and the field that you do, whatever you do, whether it's arts or math or, anything, whatever your passion is.
Just try to help out. If you don't see something that doesn't look right, just try to pitch in and get a few friends, help out.
A healthy neighborhood for us is relationships with the neighbors, trying to broaden the relationship base and then create activities that are positive, creative things for the kids.
We have to look at our mental well-being. We have to have more people in the mental health profession that are willing to come out and say, I'll help you deal with that. And we have to succumb to that and say we need that help. It's not just about being physically fit. You're a whole human being.
Communities in poor health are unproductive and they are prone to disintegration. So poor communities are also perceived as burden, and they can be subject of prejudice and bias.
Health matters not only to me, but those in our department. Is a way of life here in New Haven where people are much more active, more nutritionally focused to lead healthier, more complete lives, and also to contribute to the economic development of the city.
I think health is important. It's a critical aspect of quality of life. And so I think obviously and self-evidently it matters in our personal life, but I also think it matters to the well-being of the community. And that is to say that communities that build healthy practices into workplaces, into schools, into day-to-day transactions of life, just create a climate of a community that I think has got a better attitude, a better shared sense of their interests together, and provides better choices for folks who want to live and work here.
A healthier New Haven would have many people riding their bikes. It would have families, both with children and elderly, walking through the neighborhoods.
I would love to see a city that recognizes the effects of trauma and violence, and when those things happen, that there would be opportunities for people to step right in.
I would definitely like to see more smiles in the kids' faces when I walk down the street.
For me, it's always been, we've got to develop the neighborhood based on the kids. Other people are working on economic development, other people are working on community building. For me, it's about the kids. Because the kids are the future. They're the ones that are going to make the neighborhood strong.
My vision for New Haven is a place where everybody can feel safe, where you don't feel like whenever you're walking down the street that you always have to look behind your back.
My vision for a healthy New Haven is to see, everybody fit, in New Haven, and to see them eating right, because if you eat right, then that extends your life also.
My vision is I always see barbecue stands, but I never see vegetable stands or healthy food stands.
I would like to see people in New Haven eat more fresh food and less food out of boxes.
So my vision for a healthier New Haven is making every decision with health and the quality of life and the quality of the environment in mind.
I envision a New Haven that shares and expands its resources, and a community that supports each other in solidarity to improve people's lives and well-being.
My vision for a healthier New Haven starts with the green spaces and ensuring people feel like they are safe enough to come and enjoy the outdoors, where families and communities can feel like they are better able to handle the stresses of life because the resources are available to them. That there's a sense of community, or where we start to be more intimate and build relationships around health.
It's very important that we work across intersections of races, of genders, of generations, cultures, and diverse communities. And New Haven is really poised to do such an exciting intersectional work.
New Haven is wide open for things like this, and I think New Haven is poised and primed for this type of change and these types of discussions, especially around health.
We've got to get people engaged and to see it as an important part of our lives. Because if I can change my neighborhood or the neighborhood of New Haven, one house at a time, eventually we're all going to feel better. There is a better sense of community.
And when you have healthy people in every segment of our neighborhoods, and I'm serious about this, if they're healthy in New Hallville, if they're healthy in the Hill, if they're healthy in Dixville, if they're healthy in Beaver Hill, if they're healthy in Prospect Hill, if they're healthy over in Westville, if they're healthy over in Fairhaven, if they're healthy over in the Cove, then we have less violence, we have less crime, we have better streets for people to feel good about and comfortable about walking up and down. We've got to come together as people, regardless of what race we are, and be able to live together, harmonize together, and have good, healthy communities.